I mean, episode 2, yay. Sorry about the sound of the last one. I thought you could actually hear the beginning bit. The rest of me is talking, so it's not too bad, I suppose. Yeah. Spectator. Everything about this spectacle figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. He breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. Well, he's seen me before. We weren't sure that would work. We pulled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up. Glanced at the other figures and frowned unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought, the other reflections. They're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the world, healing from that fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. He shrugs. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Before I met you, it felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? You said I had to finish the process. What do you mean by that? I probably have to finish healing, so I'm a genius. Well, not I'm a mystical. I'm a mage. Not a genius. Pick that option. Who are those other people? You call them reflections? If this place is my mind, why don't I remember any of this? Any of you? Who are you? How do you know all this? How do I know all this? All that you're telling me? Oh, how do you know all this? Well, obviously, he's a mystical man. Who are you? He's the spectator. Or the spectre, sorry. Probably find out who he is later. Let's go for that one. Who's hunting me? That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large, black, fierce. It's our death. It's the sorrow. Close his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. Ah, brilliant. Lovely. Oh, that's gonna play a part. This mind, why do I remember this? It's your mind, a construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts? Store your true self. Wait, you know how people say, in the first place? This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me, anyway. You'd probably know better since it's yours. If you don't remember now, maybe it'll come to you later. This process. After you wake up from the dream state and just tune to the tide, you'll need to find something called a renaissance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine. We need to tune to the tides. What's renaissance chamber? Silent stay most chamber. Who are those people you call from? Tell me about this kind of, who are you? How do you know this? What do you mean? Tides are like a force, like gravity or magnetism, or something, except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is, your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will tune as it wakes up. Alright, what's the chamber then? I remember pieces about it, but not a whole. It's a crystal, big word. I remember having 5 mechanical arms around it and the metal ring set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the world, it should be nearby. Let's go for who are you? I'm. He pauses and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering. I'm you. I'm a part of your mind, a splinter. I was waiting here for you. We called you with the memories of the others who are here. I don't know what happened next. Alright, who are the others? That's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you know, people you've met in the real world, and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why. It just happens. Okay. How do you know this? First sense of frustration. I'm part of you. I looked at you, and I know this place was made for you, for us. I remember a piece of knowledge that came to me when you asked questions, but that's all. Alright, how do I get back through the world? There's a portal down there. It will take you back to your body. How convenient. Just step through it and the whole tides thing should take care of itself. Cross his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What the hell is that? Dark, evil, death. Sorrow. The sorrow is anchored to these distractions. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them, destroy its anchors, or else the sorrow will risk us forever. Crisis in the state. Kill the sorrows. A crisis begins when you enter into a dangerous situation. Crises are turn-based. Few. Counters when you fight. Sneak, manipulate the environment, or talk your way out of trouble. Each turn you make can take one action point to attack or activate an ability. You can also make one move. Near, kill it. You loosen the sorrow's anchor. Alright, give me a cursor back then. To attack an enemy, click on them to try to highlight that character now. Effect can be applied to attacks to increase your chances to hit, as with other tasks, each level effort increases your chances by 20% at the cost of 1 point from a stat pool. Unarmed attacks use speed, but other weapons and abilities may use might or intellect instead. Chess. Maybe bark, maybe jump. And play a game. What in the... It's escaping. It's doing to hide elsewhere. Now run, get to the next one. Get out of here, Jesse. You can sacrifice your action for the turn to double move instead of attacking. The movement preview line turns power whenever a position that requires double move. Oh, brilliant. Imply an effort to attack, it also increases the damage you deal. Different weapons and abilities gain different amounts. Can I do different attacks? I don't know how to do different attacks. It's doing it. It's affecting it somehow. Vitals are temporary conditions or status effects that you can improve or reduce a character's stats. The sorrow that has just placed the effect on the main reflection. You can't remove this setup, but you can find a way to overcome it. Sweet. You've already used your action this turn. You'll need to wait until the next turn to deal with another reflection. You can move somewhere or not. The Spectre. You pried it loose. That thing is a cancer. An infection. It's unstoppable. You stopped it. So it's not entirely stoppable, mate. It looks at you, tearing his eyes. That thing. Sir, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It will keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw you. But that's why the chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late. The portal to your body is that shimmering dome there. Go now. Keep the dome still here, mate. Spectre. Alright. Oh, they level up. I don't know. Spend XP to advance your character.
Where did he fall from? His body smashed to talk. So wonder he's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not his origin point. But look, he's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Look at that. Wait, I know that face. What was that? What did you do, Castage? Castage. Stone became a cross-country. Not dead yet. You're right. Achievement, I am not dead yet. The first thing you notice is this man's kills code of tattoos, roving across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat, belted at the waist, supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? He emitted an internal psychological reaction in response to the fall. Probably related to that fantastic healing process, obviously, Elgern. Her face rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to make sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react similarly that you cannot see. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Castis. His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you look at him. You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His face hard as set. Down thoughts. He's the changes in God. Castellane is deliberately blinding himself, but why? Oh, I didn't really listen to that. You fell incredible distance, yet here you are talking. Do you really not? Because you don't know, do you? I'm starting to think you're not him. Starting to think again. Tell me, is it a novel experience? Scowls. Grins, being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? It's his face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing God could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to gain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Elgrin? It implies inconsistency. Thus, the changing God may well have changed. Several versions of her shrug as she addresses you. You have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you are newly born. Her most solid self curtsies while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Castige. This is Elgrin. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing God created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you are born in this cast-off shell. Where are I? What's the place? Where's the changing God? Are there other cast-offs? So you say I was born when the changing God left while I'm not dead. Before I woke in this conundrum like a glow inspector. If falling in the sky, give me. Is there anything I can? I'll go for before I woke. How hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that's all you saw. Alright. Where are we? Who's changed God? Are there cast-offs? Where are we? A sanctum of your stars. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. Sky. Strange God with the Hour of Castaways. Alvarez. Dozens, hundreds, who can say. Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. Though, if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. Who's the changing God? Ah, that's something coming from you. She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing God is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to mortality long ago. He means to transform himself to a new body of his creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Oh, he knew all right. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing God cares about is himself. He doesn't give us a single thought for those he leaves behind. He uses us experiments and not humans. I used the cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But you think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do you do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, and you want to make each one back to the last, you want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No. You'll make strong bodies fast, powerful. Maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it. The changing God has always been vain. He rarely stays long in the shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile settling on the air, think. Perhaps the changing God fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. Now, how can you be You sure this body's cast off? Oh, I fell from the fucking sky. I fell from the sky. It's a good enough reason. What was the blast energy when I woke? Do you know about the tides? What the change in God's body so it can speak about the tides? I've heard that term before. A subject you studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Blast energy. As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a psychological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a cast off, but yes, it could have very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm. Not to me, at least. Really? You're more abrasive than ever since we came in here. You shoot yourself and look. You just can't empathize with other people unless she's experiment on them. So now, should that Saracen hurt you? Let's go for it. If he abandoned your body, then his conscience fled to another. Oh, do stop. The look she gives Elgren is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glare of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the Jameson God, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession would have been reborn somewhere else. Sure the Saracen hurt you? If it did, it was damaging our minds, though how you check if it carked her, I couldn't say. Dust's find normalcy in there. At least we know it didn't hurt Elgren. That skull was as thick as organic stone. First, something else. Cast an excellent question. Having seen your generative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical. Primarily physical. There you go. Area growth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or melodic composition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. So generative disease could pose a problem. I know of several entities capable of this psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flares in your mind. It's not yours. Exactly. Somehow, you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You're in a dark room lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about the body that can withstand the sorrows attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, reply. The thing has no respect or barriers of any kind, physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With serious gestures, you bring on the image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us power to stop the sorrows hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Catalyst still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks like the Spectre had described it. A transparent square inside a crystallized stone. The mechanical arms raid around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered. The spire is cracked. One of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. All flesh-eaten viruses, one presumes, disfigurement by the Iron Wind would likewise be destined enough to. I think he gets the point, Castlage. Sort of vision of time. Sorrow. How to fix the number. That one. I saw you stare into space for Catalyst, graphically described all the ways you could die, but that's about it. He snorts. I only noticed because I did the same thing. Do you know about the sorrow? I've had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? Disease? Her mouth compressed. I know nothing about it. Lies. How do you fix the crystals? Crystals seed fall into earth. Argon chuckles. Then firm and certain, he says. Not likely, though it might be impossible. You need people with appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste evident in the expression of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where is your judgment, Elgren? I would take him to the Order of Truth. Lord of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. What's the Order of Truth? Knowledge seekers. They learned who try to wrest secrets in the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a bright future. Don't seem too bad. Our friend Elgren was once one of them. Frauds, quacks, thieves, and charlatans. They don't have all answers, and I not trust them with the changing God's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes twinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Algren. Let us take our new friend to the Order. What's the cult? Despite what she says, they're not insane, they're eccentrics. She laughs, but he soldiers on. They're worse of, well, of you or your sire. The change is good. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. Of course, once I provide an introduction to the priest, we'll have your chamber fixed in no time. You'll end up without clothes and broken in a ditch. Well, she laughs it off as a good experience. It's probably best I come with you as well. Suspicious always, Agron. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers, rest assured. One of us will get you there safely, where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. I shudder to think what Ogre might do to the child. I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef. Who knows what secrets the child could help me find, if I can help him live long enough. Kid, you're not safe here, and not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef, scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from, what you were. He's not trained God, he needs my help, and if he is... Alright then, let's go. You gained your first companions. They will follow the last cast of and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their past and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Companions have their own motivations and persuasions, and depending on the choice you make, they may not follow you forever. You'll find more companions who can join you as you travel through the Ninth World. Exploration. Take this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You may find items, equipment, and more to assist you. When you're ready, you can leave the broken dome using stairs to the northeast. Examine. Ah, it's thirsty. Interact with that. The camera lies on the floor. Presumably broken during the fall, sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stretch. As we can examine the housing. The sharply pointed apparatus formerly topped the device appears burnt out and useless. But the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. Attempt to scavenge what you can from the machine's arm. If you select a companion's portrait in the effort window, they can assist the last cast with some challenges. Your companion stat pools are used instead of yours, and they may have different skills and abilities and stats that make the challenge easier. Companions cannot assist in a crisis, and they can only use their stats during their turn. Success. I thought I could use like more one of them. I don't know, not now. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shining trinkets and coin-like objects. You recognize the value at once. Such objects will be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world, to gather them up and take them with you. Gained item, spray flash. Gained shins. Spray flash heals 8 points of health. Leave the device alone.
Without doubt.
Let's interact with this machine. A slate black and unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out, touch it, the triangle of light on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. Towering crystal arcs rises over a jagged grey landscape. The air is dead and stiffening, and there, at its peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the device, or the attention within it says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood. Intelligence says, clear satisfaction sounded all through the round. Like it understood the question, but it's choosing not to answer. Command me. Alright, shoot me. Command not understood. Didn't like voice of intelligence and engines examines the occasion. And much newer maximum the device side appears to be given this intelligence as full corroborate and forcing it to speak to you. The device's original creator may not have meant it for communication at all. What commands do you recognize? Three lights throb urgently. Heated air sighs the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races to your mind. Prior to fast route, you rub your eyes, groaning, and the attendant's quarters. Command me, it says smugly. If anything, this boy's running faster than last time. Is that hills? Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof when the shattered resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pearl blue sky, crashed through the dome and broke through the delicate machine. Your own body. It's hard to believe that you are still alive. Ugh. Four mechanical arms hang over the great center of this device above the cracked semi-transparent crystal disguise. The fifth arm lies broke, because I broke it, on the floor among the scattered synth and the crystal shards, and the metal rings round the ray, dented and broken by impact crater. Look at it closely. Padded interior beneath the coffins, cracked lid. Coffin's not a nice word. Not for a living person, at least. It's made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above it. It seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Examine the arms. Cables run from machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the base of the arms. The metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring. And now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside the glass dome. When you step outside the ring, a feeling passes. Law machinery. You kneel to inspect a broken section and take note of the field projectors inside. They are omnidirectional. The ring is said to protect anyone standing inside it, but also to contain tremendous amounts of power. The shards. Jagged fragments of crystals are intermingled with synth from the shattered stone above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. I picked one up. Shard. Find a silver crystal, a sharpest dagger on one end and smooth on the other. It might make a useful if somewhat crude weapon. Plus 2 physical damage, plus 2 damage per effort applied max. A light weapon. Step away from the device. Actions. There. Alright, let's kick the machine. Got nothing else to do in this room. Success. Antenna's lights flutter in a lamp just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within goes crunch. Cell gating damaged. It gasps. A tray of lights focus on your blind intensity. All prisoners lost. Shutting lagoon foe. A hatch open near the dent left by your foot, and the light flickers as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoking interior. Shard of glass displays an image of three strangely garbed. Foster. Oh. Sweet. You plan on breaking every machine in here? Practical. Fix it? Oh, no, not.
It is done.
Oh well. My bad.
I need to talk to you.
Talk away.
This is the reef of fallen worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell,
Damn, I did.
we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Why are you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growls. Don't be so paranoid. But that when she isn't looking, he raises her eyebrows at you knowingly. Very dangerous. The Numenera of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. I hate to think what Castle might do to him if I wasn't here. To the Numenera. You want me to tell you, but that's not enough. The Numenera are all around you. Everything left over from the prior worlds, the Saigas cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilizations. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding dirt from from Drit. I think that's meant to be dirt actually. Never heard of Drit. From prior worlds mixed with it. Numenera is anything far from the prior worlds, but mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of the Numenera are just oddities, fancy trinkets with real use, but sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer, though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times, he frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases it doesn't really matter. Like you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chart, but who the hell knows knows enough to build you the rest of it. Better to use it as a weapon or a power source. Skull is frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we know a tenth of the secrets of the agents, but most days it's a challenge just to survive. Short story. Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust the damned reef any more than the company we keep. A parasite disguised as Skull. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that would be slow for her. They're nothing. Call them a constellation if you must. Some call them by worse names. But that's because they've had occasion to run afoul of these little snakes. Looks way. This line of question is clearly at an end. My gift and curse, they remind me of it every day. You want to fix the crimp there, yeah? First step's getting out of the race. Let's go then.
Watch your steps, child. This is not a place to walk lightly. There are dangers in the reef, both old and new.
What the dangers? Right, we walk among them. This terrace of fallen walls and anti-telephone walls. Not everything the reef knows that its walls ended long ago. Yet the true drains are contemporary. The reef holds the promise of treasure for the Torment, but not always the scrupulous. About the chamber. An astute question, my dear. The most likely answer is that your sire discovered something he could repurpose for his own stunts. If you conceal a dome as well as he did, the reef is as good as a place for any experimentation. What's your story? Now is not the time, dear. Nor is the reef a place for lengthy discussion. Rest assured, when we reach the cliffs, there will be plenty of time to swap towels. What do you think of the man? Let's probably like she's tasting something fun. He's useful, she finally says. At least he once was. If that pompous lack nibber, forgive my language dear, finds one more fault with me, I expect my sisters will murder him in several realities. She's got side. There goes one now. What are those echoes of you? They are me. We are part of each other, sisters across infinite realities. We share experiences and power. What's the old saying? That experience brings wisdom? I must be the wisest person in Saga's cliffs. The wisest across countless worlds. Her laughter peals out. Alright, let's go.
Here we go then.
Well, what's that? Two floating cones whirled and spin journeys around us, getting like children being the vehicle there. The air around them smells of sweat, sweet burning leaves. What are you? The cone controls were up and give no sign that they've heard you. What's them for patterns? The longer you stare at these arts, the more you've convinced that they turn faster when they're spiraling past across each other. All mystical. The edges seem to trace faint glowing lines that twine around each other, resembling a rope fastened to some visible point beyond this time and place. Quick fingers touch the cone as it passes. Success. You've managed to grace one of them with your top finger. Rawn, a voice says. And your vision is stolen from you. Moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black and it's a pearl white sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit it like petals in the wind. You feel questing tendrils in an ankle, and the hot wind in your face smells of scorched air, hair, and grief. Your vision returns. The cones hang motionlessly for only a second before assuming they're giggling. What are you for? The cones greet your question with a split second of a hushed silence, followed by delightful peals of helpless giggling. They aren't for anything. They are from one of the worlds before this one. Sometimes Numenera will do something useful, sometimes they'll turn you inside out. Sometimes they don't do a damn thing that makes any sense. I've often said the same thing about you, darling. You've become alone.
Fine.
What's up here? Whoa. I know I should get out.
In an instant.
Which way's out? Which way's in? That doesn't sound good. We're outnumbered. Just with that position they set up. As you step into what looks like the back of the noise construct, four strangers approach you. In the lead is a weary man with parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone to the left side of his face. Gives you a smiling, welcome smile, pulling on grey gloves, and a bit of pulse and light. He's about to say something to you when he notices Cassie's scan falls. He's startled, or he came out of it. But what does the cow have to do with this? Cow, I thought you sworn off trailing the reef. Found anything tasty? His eyes travel up and down you, both you and Elgrim. Odds and ends, Squirrel. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she has gone still, quite still. What is he doing here? He has something up his sleeve, I know it. Nothing's wrong, dear. I come into Quarrel and accepted this once long ago. His methods were too crass to my taste. Though in his defense, he never tried to kill me when my back was turned. Or if he did, he failed and I didn't notice. I don't like this. Arrogant hisses near, but loud enough that Carol's here too. If she's cagey about him, it can only mean trouble. You just hear what I tell people about you, dear. Killer or not, she whispers. Cora is a man who cannot be trusted with unvarnished truth. Tread lightly. Right to the point, this one isn't he? I know most of the draft that scavenge the roof these days, but it's a rare pleasure to see a new face. Smiles some. All I want is information. A fallen star landed here not long ago. I don't suppose you were around to see it. How did you get there? What those cliffs or where did you the star land? It wasn't a star. True. Sky. Not going to trust him. Deception. Up behind you. I saw a star, but don't know where it landed. That one. 5%. 75%. Were you? 95 is closest I'm gonna get. Yes, success. Alright, he says. Well, do let us know if you spot anything of interest. I'd like to say we'd pay for the privilege, but if we were rich, we wouldn't be down here, would we? If he's not the ToN truth, then he's a fantastic liar. I guess I was wrong. Oh, I'm a fantastic liar. Plus, don't fancy quite. Nice thinking, kid. That would have been a fiasco. You figured out why they were right. Right. I knew I couldn't trust Custos. This is the last time I make that mistake. Oh sure, and they just had that ambush ready to go at the same time as we're leaving. No kid, Custos sold us out. Excuse me, are you suggesting I had something to do with Koro's plans? Oh, I cannot bide his rabid paranoia a moment longer. Are you suggesting you didn't? An old friend of yours just happens to waiting for us, armed and outnumber us. As we return from the greatest find the roof has seen in years, it's too convenient for me, too convenient by far. Of all the idiotic paranoid delusions, you really believe this, don't you? You really believe I'd use a half-wit like Coro to stab you in the back rather than do it myself? You see, kid, she'll stab you in the back, first chance she gets. Most likely in your sleep. First hand for telling us what. Look, I don't care. Fact is, I can't trust you anymore, and I wonder why I ever did. This last we travelled together. I've got enough to worry about having to watch my back 20 hours a day. So you coming, kid, or what? I do. You haven't seen 1/10 of her depths, not 1/10, 20th. She's a backstabbing bitch, mark my words. You're insufferable to the end, Ilgrin, looking for the worst in the situation. It's the only way you know to see. Do you know how long I've carried your pain for you? How much I've had to turn away from your judgmental stares? But you're right, I've had enough. Child, I'm happy to guide you, but I will not walk another step with this paranoid buffoon. Finally, something we agree on, he growls. Kid, she'll chop off your head and spit down your throat. I'll get you where you need to go, and let you sleep at night to boot. It's up to you. My dear boy, we've been working out Algren's petulance, his obstinacy in the face of the fact, drive me away every day. He might be strong, but he's also thick. I dare you to travel. I dare you try to travel with him. See how long you endure. Not as long as I have, I'll wager. As if you're doing me a favour by staying with me. Do you think I don't see your true self in all those echoes around you? That's you, Cassius. Every facet of it. Your viviscent heart hasn't changed, just the way you present it. I thought I could help you, but I'm paranoid, but level-headed. Her mystical and untrusting. But I can read thoughts or advantage, and he's really paranoid. What if he gets paranoid of me and tries to kill me? Or he wants me for something else? And the truth people sound like a hoot, because, you know, the truth. I'll go with her. Right. Well, if you want me, and she doesn't sell you for parts, you find me in the underbelly, not with her, mind you. She'll sell you for parts first, and she forget it. It's history, it's not my problem. I'll let you know what you've missed. I'm sure you won't be missed. I'm sure you won't be missed. That is. She thinks her arm progressing to us. Let's go, child. We have a world to conquer. Now you've dealt with Coronus dunes, and continue on to the city of Sogras. To reach the city, cross the bridge at the north end of the platform. Let's talk to her.
You'll have to give me some time, naturally.
Alright. Leave area. That's all for episode 2.